Good morning, everybody. It's Eric Lloyd with the ESP update today. We want to do a quick update and a Q&A session to discuss any of the questions that have come up since we've gone live on BitMart. So we've had 1 day of trading, roughly about 200,000 USD in trade volume, which is interesting to see. But we've had fairly flat price action in terms of it hasn't been very dynamic, and so there's been a lot of questions about what we're doing, and I want to give this opportunity to the community to ask any questions. So I'm going to be referring back and forth to Telegram and what's coming in off of Facebook and YouTube, and try to answer any questions. Apologize for just the green screen in the back. Got a little funny thing going on with our video switcher here, so I can't get the proper background in today, but that's okay. So first off, I think the big news was the launch with BitMart. So that went actually pretty smoothly. We were off at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time yesterday, which is what is that, 8 o'clock UTC, and trading started happening right away. And over the day, we've noticed a couple of different things in terms of the trade action and whatnot. So we're going to make some adjustments to the platform a little bit. We're going to add an extra decimal of precision, so it allows for finer increments in the buys and asks. So this will make the price differential in terms of the percentages a little bit more manageable. That was a request that came out of several people out of on the Telegram side of things. So let me just switch here to the chat so I can get to it here. Okay. All right, hopefully everybody can hear me, and feel free to ask any questions. We'll try to keep this as brief as possible today. I am going to go over some Telegram questions that we've had though out of the site. So one question that continually comes up virtually 3-4 times every day is, what is our price prediction? What is our price target? As I have mentioned in the past, we cannot give financial advice. We're not financial advisors. It would be inappropriate for us to do so. As well as in terms of target pricing or expected price or what's our price going to hit, I don't have that kind of foresight because we're very much market driven by what happens with the various trades and whatnot. What I can tell you is where our focus is and how we're bringing value back to the community. So as these business use cases become live, they're generating profit streams. We'll be injecting a portion of that profit stream back into the token, as well as we start to get more broad-based. We bring out Talk to Expert, our School Connect platforms, and we start to utilize the token as well as in digital payments for what we're doing in Africa. We will there then be driving up the volume that's getting out into the marketplace just by the sheer usage within the platform itself. This is especially true when we start to get into the renewable energy projects, because those are typically much higher dollar value. So we'll see larger single coin transfers and movements as time goes on. So how does this affect the price? We're not trading experts actually, so it really depends on the context, the period in the market, how mature it is, and really how much distribution's out there, and how that's going to impact the overall price. All I can say, when asked what's happening with the price is that we're just continually executing on a roadmap and tactically following those steps. So one of the other questions came was what determined the opening price? Why did we select something that was less than the price that was offered on the website. And this is kind of picking a price is somewhat arbitrary in some ways. We want to bring down the price a little bit to hopefully make it more affordable for driving some more interest. And basically what we also did was we did some math based on, all the different transactions that's happened. And we, basically come to an average price as to what the token had really gone out to the market at and what's traded back and forth on Uniswap and so on and so forth. And actually the price that we've came out at the roughly the 50 millionths of the US dollar is pretty much in line with what's happened on the average. So, obviously we have certain people that are below that and people that are above that. We expect that over time, as we build the use cases, the price of the token, the value of the token will increase over time. As I've said in probably every single live stream in the past, we're not focused on what the today price is. Of course, when we're new out of the gate the first day, we're all looking at it, interested to see how things are going and whatnot, and also interested in how we're supporting the community. But at the end of the day, that's not really where we're focused on. We're not trying to drive the price to a certain value. We're focused on the business cases, the business fundamentals, the long-term outlook of where we're going to, and the excuse me, and the token follows along with what we're doing there. And as such, that means that we're not trying to do things that are trying to explode the price. So, a day trader can make, a significant return. We're looking for people that are, supporting the project, are long-term holders, will be using the token, and not looking at it specifically as a vehicle to make an instant dollar. Now, that being said, anybody investing into cryptocurrency obviously wants a return, and we can respect that. And certainly, I think everybody wants the same thing. Just our approach is different. Our approach is very specific in terms of building out the use cases, our student information platform, renewable energy and digital payments, and that's where the focus is going to be. So we're, from an investor standpoint, I think we're probably a more stable player. As you see, the price is actually very stable out of the gate. Over time, we'll be consistent. We're looking for that consistent ramp. And so we would be considered by most investors a longer term play rather than a shorter one. We're hoping that we don't have a ton of volatility and that we have kind of a steady growth to the value of the token. So let's see if there's any questions. So far there isn't. Another question that come up quite often is what are we going to go on other exchanges? And the answer is yes, absolutely. We're currently in negotiations with our second and actually third exchanges, but we're going to do that at the right time, whether it's a week or a month from now. It's in the near-term roadmap. But that being said, we also wanted to make sure that we get things moving, properly. We've had to make some adjustments now in terms of, adding an extra precision or decimal precision to the price, which allows for smaller increments in the price. Things like that to help facilitate, smooth transactions, getting more people on board, interacting with the token itself. So far, I've used the smartphone app, the web app, and everything seems to work from our perspective pretty easily. The community hasn't reported any difficulties working with BitMart, so that's a real positive. I was expecting that we'd get a ton of support calls on how to do this or do that, but none of that has happened. So that's, I think, a good sign of things moving pretty well. We've seen quite a flow of tokens move to the exchange, so I think that's positive as well. But that being said, we'd like to get more buyers involved, and I think one of the incentives that we'll have is to increase that decimal precision, making the pricing a little bit more stable in terms of when it moves up and down, that there's not this drastic swing in valuations, because that could potentially scare off some investors moving forward. So we've made that change. The other thing is marketing and promotion. I think these are the key things for getting the token out there, getting the ESP, everything about the project, the use cases and whatnot, getting better marketing. So we're invested in that, and we continue to invest in whether we do AMA sessions, but certainly we're doing more industry-specific things in the education and digital payment side, as well as we're going to align with the exchanges with some of the marketing as well. So over the next 24 to 48 hours, we're going to be rolling out at least the details for some kind of promotion with the exchange. I'd like to get that launched, maybe as early as tomorrow, but understand that it may take a few days to put this together. But certainly we'll have a new plan, but a program that is really incented to bring more people to the platform, more people holding the token, and have a little bit of fun with it. I think we can do this, and as we start to see the volume of people coming in, that'll have a natural progression in terms of the rise in price. So that's important. And then once we have that moving smoothly, then we'll continue on with finalizing the second and third exchanges as we move forward. So hopefully that answered the next exchange question. Okay, just checking to see. So far, no questions. Sorry about that. Okay. So we also have a couple of announcements. As I mentioned before, we have a really huge announcement coming up with the digital payment side. I can now reveal who that is and a little bit about what that entails. We've signed an agreement with Asseco out of Poland. They're a $3 billion revenue company with about 26,000 employees. So a very substantial entity, and we're going to be partnering with their electronic cash register network again for providing a digital payment infrastructure in Africa. So right now we're investigating the possible uses of ESP tokens within their platform and how it's deployed across all of Africa. And the idea here is that we want to enable their merchants that use the ECR network to be able to accept ESP coins as digital payments. So this is kind of a really big step for us. Obviously, the integration of digital wallets and the platform into a platform that never had cryptocurrency in the past is going to take a bit of time. So we're looking at what we can do kind of into the Q1, Q2 range of 2022. But this is a really significant announcement for us, and we're absolutely thrilled about the partnership. And expect that we'll be formally announcing that partnership early next week, and we'll get that out into all the various social media channels and whatnot. But we have to co-author the news release, and that'll take a few days of time and to get it nailed down. But it's a really big event for us. I think it's the probably will be the largest partnership that we can announce in the next 3 to 6 months. So we're absolutely thrilled about it to move forward, and hopefully that will turn into getting ESP utilized right across Africa. I think that's it's going to be an amazing opportunity. Similar to what we're doing with Circle Blue, but this is 1 or 2 orders of magnitude larger because it's not just in 1 or 2 or 3 countries. It's really the entirety of Africa now that we're really focused on. So that's super big. The other aspect of what we're sorry, the other aspect, I'm losing my mind here a little bit, but as I said, we have a roadmap that we're moving forward. We're pushing forward on the Talk to Expert platform. Again, this week we'll be putting out some details on what we're looking for, so we can start to bring content creators to start producing the content ready for the platform to debut. This means disclosing what the business model, how that works, the requirements of the types of videos that we need, so the content creators can actually go and produce. So we can have that ready for launch relatively soon now. So we're pushing forward on that pretty aggressively, and that's going to be the very first platform I think that's going to be active. We're a little behind with our roadmap in terms of where we are with getting on the exchanges, which was providing us a certain amount of liquidity in order to push the other business use cases forward. Again, so we're a little bit slow on a couple of things, but we're starting to move forward pretty rapidly. The second platform, of course, will be our student information management system. That's really key for us, and we want to get that launched. Within basically now, I think in about 16 weeks for a final product that actually gets out as a commercial product. So we're pretty focused on trying to get that done for that Q1 now of 2022. Again, we're somewhat constrained a little bit with the situation of COVID and in the oh geez, somebody said we're is there still no sound? So I just got a message. Looks like we do have audio going through. So again, if somebody doesn't have it, please let me know. Excuse me. Oh yeah, okay. Thumbs up. Thank you. So yeah, the big focus is now, we're moving away from the technology of the coin itself and into the business use cases. As I said, School Connect with being a little bit behind because of COVID in Vietnam. Thank goodness that vaccinations are starting. We're starting to see the trend of cases and whatnot start to reduce, actually dramatically reduce. So there's hopefully going to start to open up again, and that will allow us to assemble a team to complete the remainder of the work for the launch that will happen in Vietnam. Talk to Expert is not as much constrained with what's happening in Vietnam, so we'll have that out earlier. That'll be the first platform. Okay. Any other questions? Let me just see if there's anything's popped in on Telegram here. So far, not. Yeah, there's been a lot of discussions, honestly, about the price being stable or stuck or whatnot. And part of this is we need to get more buyers into the platform. Number one. Two, the expectation of some of the community for an instant hit or whatnot. That's not us. Again, we're looking for that consistent growth, and we're at the bottom of the ramp. We understand that, and over time we'll be growing that. Certainly. I can't give any price predictions. It's just not appropriate because I don't have that kind of crystal ball, and we're not financial experts. We're not financial advisors, so it's not appropriate for us. And that's the other thing is as we bring these things out onto the exchanges, we're not trading experts. We are experts in the technology field for bringing online digital platforms. Cryptocurrency really addresses a real need for us in terms of digital payments and moving value around for the different use cases. So that being said, how to manage market dynamics and all this stuff is not our expertise. Of course, we have advisors that tell us what we can do, what we can't do, how we should be, addressing certain things in the market. But again, I always get back to the fact that our focus is not on what the price of the token is. And I'm sorry for the community that thinks, is only looking at what the price is doing from an investment standpoint. We're looking at it from a long-term perspective, is that we're carrying, those business cases, and the token, the utility token will be used there. And over time, we're going to see an appreciation of value of the token. And so for a long-term investor, this represents a reasonable opportunity. I think there was a really great article from Gate.io. I think it was I saw it on LinkedIn earlier this week. And one of the key things that they were talking about is, when they looked at the investor base and looked at the people who are most successful, and if you take that top 10% of who was the most successful in cryptocurrency, it was really interesting to see that their average hold time for the crypto that they purchased was 4 years, where they made the biggest returns and had the best success. And I think that's really the case with most investments, whether it's crypto or stocks or whatnot, real estate also, is that the volatility basically becomes a non-issue over time. So again, the focus being for us, use cases, quality of what we're doing, making sure we're managing the token on a day-to-day basis as well. Are we focused on price, or how do we get from the 50 millionths of US dollar to 100 millionths, or and these types of things, or 100 million, whatever. We're driving that market cap from, I think, the 30 million or whatever it says today to 100 million. I'm not focused on it. That'll happen naturally. We know that will happen. And I think everybody that understands what our business model is, how our burn contracts work on the token, our buyback and burn process with the 90% project revenue, is going to also lift the value of the token. It's really strategically aligned for a longer term play. And that's how we built it. We've built the token economics around a longer term play. And really, we don't want a ton of volatility on a utility token, because we're using it for digital payments. Because, for instance, we don't want to go through the same process that people are going through with gas fees right now with Ethereum, where a transfer one day costs you $3 and the next day costs you $30, or even that kind of spread over just a few minutes. Whereas we want to have some price stability, so when the cost from A to B doesn't vary dramatically over a short period of time. Over a longer period of time, of course, there's no problem there. And in fact, we expect that we will have an increase in value as we move forward. Okay. Any questions from the general community? I'm really on here to answer questions that people have about what's happened on the exchanges. Do you need help, or is there something there that you'd like to see that we haven't done? The customer feedback or the community feedback for us is super, super important, because we can adjust, we can pivot as needed to make sure that we're taking into account the needs and desires of the community. Can we do everything that we're asked? Absolutely not. I don't think anybody can. But certainly we've already had a number of good positive feedbacks that have come back that have guided us in terms of what we've done on the marketing for the coin, or what we might be doing with with the different platforms. A lot of discussion about different language support and how we can implement that. So these are all really important aspects to what we want to do, and it's your feedback that we really rely on. And of course, the best feedback is, of course, picking up the token and moving forward. But obviously, any feedback that we get, we'll take that under advisement and see if it makes sense to incorporate those ideas into our everyday activities. So let me just check here. Anything else on Telegram? Okay. Had another good video from Crypto Profit posted about the project on YouTube, so you can grab that link off the Telegram channel. I think they quickly went over what's going on and what the current status is, and it's just nice to see that out there. He's got a great following, I think, of over 100,000 subscribers. So again, it's try and get the word out, try to share that enthusiasm that we have for not just the token, but what we're doing on the business case side, because we want to get the word out there and really start to drive the business side of what we're doing. We're super excited about Talk to Expert. That's again our educational content delivery platform. I'm going to be doing basically a master class for Talk to Expert on cryptocurrency. So cryptocurrency for dummies or whatnot, or people who just have not used crypto before. I'll have a course on there. It'll be about 90 minutes in length. We'll talk a little bit about all the different terms that are out there, how a transaction works, how a digital wallet works, and really at the whole idea is at the end of the 90 minutes. Anybody should feel confident of understanding how crypto works, how to use a digital wallet, how to interact with an exchange and make a transaction, how to send crypto from A to B. I'm not going to get into all the technical details on, this kind of hashing algorithm and how a consensus works on this platform or that platform, because that's for the few technocrats that are out there, technology enthusiasts like me. But for the general public, we're going to try to get it to a level of how to use it every day, because really, we're at the stage now where people are asking, is crypto for me? Can I get involved? I go, really, if you can work an ATM or an online banking application on your smartphone, then you can definitely work with cryptocurrency, no problem. So we're trying to make sure that the public sees cryptocurrency at that level, how you interact with an ATM or whatnot. It's really no different, and it shouldn't be any more complicated than that. Of course, it's new terminology and a few new ideas, but there's nothing really that big. And at the end of the day, you're holding something of value, you're transferring something of value from A to B, and really how that's done and what the method is, and then a little bit about security and why it's secure, how to secure your own assets to make sure that you're not exposed. I think we all saw the 6,000 plus accounts at Coinbase that got raked last week. And it's really unfortunate that these types of things happen, because whether, a phishing scheme where they found a vulnerability in the two-factor authentication to take advantage of. Again, we're going to talk a little bit about personal best practices and how to secure your own cryptocurrency. That way you're not leaving yourself exposed. And so there's things that you can do that minimize your risk. And certainly, the idea of keeping all your eggs in one basket, certainly something that isn't 100% under your control, probably isn't the best idea. It's okay to store value on an exchange. For the most part, they have a security team and they have lots of processes and procedures. But the fact is that It's a big organization, can be infiltrated a couple of different ways. And so there is some risk there. So I would say to anybody that has value stored on an exchange that maybe you want to keep a certain amount there, but the rest of it in a hardware wallet that's under 100% in your custody and under your control. And this is the best way to keep you as safe as possible. As soon as you don't have control over basically the signing key for the digital transactions, there is some risk of loss potentially. Again, it's very, very low. It's the chance of getting hit by lightning, but nonetheless, might as well be safe as possible. So anyways, that will be the Talk to Expert course that I'll be doing, in the coming weeks. We're not going to be charging for that course. We'll make it freely available even before the platform is live. So I'll get that out on YouTube and as links on the website, really for everybody to use. Because I think that, where we're using these use cases, especially, people new to digital payments through the smartphone, or certainly on the student information management system, where you've got a slew of parents that have never touched cryptocurrency, and now they're being asked to pay for services or whatnot by utilizing crypto. We're going to show them how that's done. And again, this is one of the things that we need to do to help educate our user base so that they're more fluent and capable of using our platforms. So we'll be doing that. Okay, just going to flip through here. Another question is, how many exchange do you plan to list our coin on, or our token? Again, we're on BitMart today and Uniswap. We are in negotiations with 2 more exchanges, which we expect to bring out, say, this quarter, within certainly before Christmas, to get that done. And we'll continue to look at the strategic advantage to bringing more exchanges on where it makes sense. Bringing on an exchange is a fairly costly exercise, but it also comes with a variety of benefits in terms of a new user base and whatnot. At some point, we'll be looking, once we're well established across a few different exchanges. And in fact, we also may have our own exchange that as part of our platform in Africa. But once these things are set up, again, we're more focused on putting some of the marketing resources for Talk to Expert, for the School Connect, what we're doing in the solar platform on the renewable energy side, and of course, pushing out the digital payments on the various ECR networks that we can get on board with. So that's kind of where the focus is from a corporate standpoint. So yes, we will have more exchanges. Are we going to be on every exchange? I think at some point, there's a tipping point to where we don't have to apply to exchanges anymore. They come to us and wanting to list us, and they'll just list us as part of the process. And I think this is probably going to be very true once we have the student information management system and we're across several countries around the world, all of a sudden all using ESP as the token of choice, or the token that's integrated in the platform. It just means that there's going to be a much larger user base. Again, when we look at the student population in Philippines or Vietnam, around 20 million, say that's 12 or 14 million parents that all need to be educated on how to use crypto, but also then have access to it. We're going to drive a lot of demand on that side, just by the fact that the use cases will need it. All right, I've talked about price predictions, talked about the stock price. It's been a learning lesson as well. Some of these things, how fast the trading happens. BitMart is pretty spectacular in terms of the speed at which they can carry through on a transaction. So, we've seen that the pretty high performance there. All right. Okay. I'm not going to stretch out the live stream here. My offer stands. Feel free to contact me directly on Telegram on our channel with any questions you have about the exchange or what's going on online with the token. I'm happy to address it as much as possible. And we'll be doing the ESP update. Generally now, I think we're going to do it every Thursday, roughly around this time. Once we get settled and things moving a little bit, and I got my green screen working properly, and we have some other content that we're going to deliver. We have our big announcement with the SECO. Again, this is happening early next week. We have the signed agreement on Friday, so that's moving forward. And we're also going to announce what our promotion is on the exchange, so have a little fun there, but also to incent new holders into the platform and help us move forward. So again, thanks everybody for attending this one. Feel free again to reach out at any time, and I look forward to speaking with you all next Thursday or sooner. Okay, thanks again.